Welcome to the show. Creative Universe Checkpoint Earth presents Union News. Twin Flames is not good and spiritual, per se. The real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours. It serves as the source for your daily or almost daily twin flame news. Today on the show, we have twin flames is not good and spiritual per se. Isn't that an interesting topic? Maybe it sounds like, what are you saying? Like, twin flames is the most spiritual topic around. Okay. So why are they now suddenly not spiritual? What are you talking about? You've gone nuts now, Petra. Okay. And we are going to talk about that after the standard topics that we have in the beginning that are filled in uniquely for today. You'll see what it is, but then we'll just go a little deeper on what I mean with that twin flames are not good and spiritual. Are they bad? Are they just actually from the devil? Are they mediocre? What are they? And why? I thought you might want to know. So here we go. Let me know in the chat where you are watching from. Add a heart for desiring union and a flame for calling in the consciousness state of harmonious union. That it is all about. That's what you do when you want to be with your twin flame. You go to the consciousness state of harmonious union and you start to do the work to go there. It's beautiful beyond belief. You'll be immensely healed, feel so much better. And then you fall into that consciousness state. You'll know who your twin flame is. You'll be so sure about that. It can't be made undone anymore, forevermore. The door swings open to your abundance. You'll actually be happy. They won't run away anymore. That's what that consciousness state is. And that's what you want. And that's what I can guide you to. That's my work. That's my work here online with my online coaching. I can help you and I'll guarantee you that it will work out because everyone that steps into it goes there, well, in a second almost. Well, the quickest we had was 4 months and 4 days. That was very quick, I think. You know, instead of decades, what I did. So what I did was spend decades and then get the power and the teachership for you that works manyfold as fast. Manyfold faster. Is that the right expression? Well, much faster. Instead of 4 decades, 4 months. What about that? You can do it too. Well, in your rhythm, in your timing. And we're going to find out together what that is if you step into the coaching. It's behind the YouTube screen. It is when you go in a relationship with me. You'd be welcome. The twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day is nobody can pass on harmonious twin flame union to another that is not aligned with the source of it entirely. True. So interesting. Wasn't I just already right now talking about that I was passing it on? And I didn't even notice, but it was in the twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day today that we talk about that I pass it on. And the only grace through which I'm able to even do that is because I am in it, in that state of consciousness, and I'm fully aligned with it. And nobody that is not cannot pass it on. It's just not possible. There are many people that talk about twin flames online. and they promise you all kinds of things. But the true thing, the real deal, the consciousness state, they can't pass on because they don't have it. That's not possible. That's not the true teacher for twin flames. And I know that can sound very disappointing, but it's the truth. And I want the truth for you, because through the truth, you'll make it happen, not through anything else, not through fantasy, not through, what have you, delusions, right? You won't reach it through delusions, only through a teacher that is aligned with the true source of the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And there's nothing else than that. You could not pass it on or help someone else when you don't have it. So you need to be in this precise alignment with source, the source where that consciousness state is provided. And that's not like, well, sort of kinda is enough. No, it's not sort of kinda, it's really precise, and that's it. And if you find someone that has it and that has the alignment, you would need to follow what they say in the relationship with you. And then after a while, when you truly follow what they say and do what they say, then it will spring over to you, and you will just have such a happy party, because now we're together in that consciousness. So that's how it goes. And someone that is not aligned with source, the source of it entirely, just cannot pass it on. You can't have an idea about it and pass it on. You can't mean well and have heard of it and pass it on. That's just not possible. So it's good to know for when you want to achieve it and want to see where you feel at home as well. Where you feel at home, in choosing coaching, right? But today we talk about twin flames is not good and spiritual per se. And that is already a little bit in this union consciousness wisdom of the day, because nobody can pass on harmonious twin flame union to another that is not aligned with the source of it entirely. And the interesting thing is that you should look for a teacher that is in it and can pass it on. But that is not a teacher that is, oh, love and light, I'm flying away as an angel, and that has like the angelic Delulu state the most. That is not who that is. That is not the passer on of harmonious twin flame union. It's actually supposed to be a normal human being that is actually very human and earthly and manifest and like normal, like not delusional, grounded. And you don't recognize the twin flame teacher because they are so good and spiritual. No, you recognize them because they see through your delusions, and they are firmly anchored in heaven on earth. And they're actually kind of normal, okay? And so they can even be like, yeah, but they're so normal. They're not really particularly good or spiritual. Or maybe I even see something bad in them, but they can't be in alignment with the true source to pass on harmonious union to me. Well, you might be wrong about that, because it is about something else. It's the quality in what they do that is behind the form. And the form, you can see many things in the form because they are projection. But the form is actually very normal. And it's not, that's just overdone. That's just over spiritualized, and that's not it. It means it's a normal person in an alignment, in an attunement, and you need to like close your eyes and feel that. That's what you need. That's that person. Because twin flames are also normal people. We'll talk later more about this. The ACIM lesson of the day, and that is A Course in Miracles, ACIM, which is a book and a whole like methodology on its own. And it's beautiful because you can just buy it or do it online and read a little bit in it, or read it all, and learn more about sinking into union consciousness. Ta-da! What's something that you want to do to go to your twin flame? You want to go to union. Well, let's then do something with union consciousness. Sounds logic, right? Union consciousness. So that's what's in that book. And it's like the teaching how the Christ Masters actually mean to speak about the consciousness change, the consciousness shift that is here for human beings to be able to achieve. And yeah, that's really of our time. This is really the shift for twin flames, to go to union consciousness. So that's why we use this book. And here is lesson 86. It's a review lesson. Only God's plan for salvation will work. It is senseless for me to search wildly about for salvation. I have seen it in many people and in many things. But when I reached for it, it was not there. I was mistaken about where it is. I was mistaken about what it is. I will undertake no more idle seeking. Only God's plan for salvation will work, and I will rejoice because his plan can never fail. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Holding grievances is an attack to prove that God's plan for salvation will not work. Yet only his plan will work. By holding grievances, I am therefore excluding my only hope of salvation from my awareness. I would no longer defeat my own best interests in this insane way. I would accept God's plan for salvation and be happy. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. And the complete lesson, because there's more, and much more than that, is in the show notes. And I post them on Patreon. You can become a member of Patreon. And then you can see the show notes of all the shows and the videos as well. And I ask you for your opinion what the next show would need to have as topic. So I want to know that from you right there. I will also soon make some secret videos to be published there. And you'll get huge deals that are never anywhere else available in it as well. So yeah, join us on Patreon for the behind the scenes experience. The ACIM lesson of today. I think this is really cool. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Because we think that we're gonna know it better. And in the vein of what we're talking about today, with the topic of twin flames is not good and spiritual per se, we think that we know it better than God by being all spiritual and love and light and, like dance around in the ego in all spiritual and love and light. but it's delusional. You're not grounded. You're not in heaven on earth. And God's plan is heaven on earth. That's what God wants. It's not the delusional spirituality. That's not God's plan. God's plan is that there is already an inherent spiritual dimension of your life right now. You are already a twin flame. You are already in truth, in union. And the only thing that you need to do is allow the very physical, grounded life to be shifted, like reshifted to the tune of what you truly are, of what God truly is for you, or source, however you want to say it. It doesn't matter if you call it God or source or the universe or whatever. That really does not matter at all. You can also be against God and be a twin flame and reach harmonious union, reach your goal, be together. That really does not matter as long as you're open for the truth that comes to you and greets you and penetrates your energy field, is there through doing the twin flame inner work. And it does not matter what you call it. You just exist with this deeper layer because that's what you are. You can't undo that. It doesn't matter what it's called. You cannot not have it. You must have it because you're a human being. It's just the more grounded truth than only the physical life. That's what that is. So anyway, God or universe, source or nothing, doesn't matter what you call it. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Only God's attunement of how the physical shifts work out when you do the inner work will work. Not your ideas about what needs to happen, not your wishes for what must happen. The only plan that is feasible is God's plan. And that is so interesting. And you know, God's plan is already here. You can take your own plan and sort of try to manipulate yourself in the direction of your twin flame, but you won't succeed. And you will be very stressed as well, constantly. So, and on the other hand, God's plan will never fail. But it just might mean that you need to face and process all these emotions that you don't want to face. That's just part of the price that you have to pay. And all these emotions that you don't want to face, these are actually called in this chapter of ACIM, or in this lesson, they're called grievances. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. So, you know, I'm also still processing grievances. I feel it today. I feel it now. It's like, oh yeah, this is a good lesson because holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. I have to keep on processing them, you know? And because it's okay. It's okay that I have them. The point is that you shouldn't hold them. That's what it says. You know, holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. So if you just make them move, you process them, in other words, that's okay. That's the direction God wants you to go in, wants me to go in. So I think I am moving grievances. So, and I keep on moving them. I have done this for years on years, and that's also how I arrived in Harmonious Twin Flame Union. And I have spent all these years afterwards as well, inside Harmonious Union. And that's why I'm going in the right direction. After I arrived, after you arrive in Harmonious Union, you still go in the right direction when you maintain it. And you keep on moving forward inside of that new consciousness. You don't deviate. And then you start to heal everything in your life, like your health, your psychology, your relationship with your twin flame, starting a family, starting the mission business that belongs to you, etc., etc. So I'm fully in that process after the Harmonious Union consciousness state where it started, where it was like the inception of it. I would accept God's plan for salvation and be happy. Yeah, I feel that real deep now. This is real deep movement for me right now. Because we're moving a lot in my life at this moment. We're moving a lot of stuff, a lot of inner stuff again, to make more space for more new things coming in. It's just really beautiful process. Changes on the horizon. So let's go to a segment of one of my books, because not only A Course in Miracles is here, but my books as well, of course, and they're all about the consciousness shift of going into union, starting your mission, and underneath of that also like the shifts that we make as the magicians of life, as the life artists that we are here, that you and me are, and like living that as an art, that we just connect with that deeper layer of life. And not because it makes us all love and light, but because it makes us actually grounded. Because it actually makes us connect with where our home is, where our belonging is. And that is heaven on earth. I opened one of my books and this segment came out, quote, "Most likely, as in our union, the energy will collect in your divine feminine and money in your divine masculine counterpart. Because of the nature of things being such that the more internal and energetic flow belongs to the feminine and the more outer and material flow belongs to the masculine, relatively speaking. This is not to say that old-fashioned gender ideas will need to be restored in social and societal interaction. This speaks of a spiritual level of things. That is an even extra layer besides sex, gender, and your own personal preferences therein. In fact, this indicates a deeper, intimate way of belonging to each other. Now, this is true on the scale of union, and there's also a union within the individual. And there we can see that it always makes sense to be able to work with both energies in your personal life to a degree one is comfortable and makes sense to one's need, especially during the journey. The depth of healing of the counterparts together, combining their natural proclivity, however, cannot be understated in profundity as an experience and a truth. And the other, more individual union within the individual that, as stated right before, has its own fullness point to be reached, that can be explained as energy body healing. All body parts that equal energy points have come online, both in the personal and spiritual realm. That was from the Emerald Itinerary on page 177. And that is one of the 3 books that is published in the paper book that you can order as a paper book with the title Twin Flames, Manifesting Your Abundant Life of Love. And you can find it on Amazon. So this is really about the divine masculine and divine feminine. And in a certain sense, the divine feminine is really connected with like the energy, like the sort of the inner fullness. And the divine masculine is in a sense connected to the topic of the outer fullness of outer things, of, for instance, money as the outer sign and token and symbol and literally it for energy. Energy and money belong together. They're sort of like inner and outer. They're sort of like divine masculine and divine feminine. And that is like the underlying layer of being twin flames of each other for everyone, sort of, kind of. And in my union, this is particularly so. Very much so. And this idea repeats itself on a lower level in creation. We're now talking about the twin flame blueprint level, right? And then on the lower level, in one twin flame and the other as well, individually, in my individual energy body, there's also the idea on another level, on a minor level, of that I have an outer and an inner fullness in energy and in money. And that could stand on the individual energy body layer, in a sense, symbolically for divine feminine, divine masculine inside my energy body. That can be helpful to, in a sense, to look at it on that level for healing. But then the true union layer and level is always, that bigger level of there, the divine masculine, here's the divine feminine, that layer. You want to get that all in order. You want to make connection with a bigger layer and with a minor layer and in the energy body, and heal yourself there as well. And have that reflected in the outer, in the bigger layer as well. And have the bigger layer in place so that your energy body can heal. Well, so it's just really an organic play with each other that will make you truly spiritually and physically whole and healed in heaven on earth. And that's what we work on. That's what we heal. That's what we do with the work. That's what we do when you step behind the YouTube screen, right? That's what we do when you come to our Facebook community and start to get a taste from a couple of things that we do, a couple of twin flame inner work stuff. That's what we do when you come in connection with me and we start to do, for instance, a twin flame reset, which is a session for you that is full of energy work. And one of my clients reached Harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state it's all about, after 2 weeks after that session. It was like, whew, bam, there it was. Amazing. These kinds of sessions, Twin Flame Reset, they are available at this point. So maybe it's for you. We could talk about if it is fit for you, if you want to. That is very much using the minor layer of the energy body to like influence the bigger level as well, and the other way around, and make that connection. Yeah, it works really well. It's really magical. It's really beautiful. Wow, that was such a revelation, that it worked so well with all the work that I built with Divine Mother in this realm, the energy body work, but also the true twin flame teaching and becoming a true twin flame teacher very interesting processes because it was so powerfully working, right? So let's go to some oracle guidance for today, because with my union and mission cards, you can just make all the steps on your journey that could ever be made possible for you. So please, Divine Mother, show me a card. Okay, I had this feeling that we were shown this card. Builder Humans Y B3.3. And we see this triangle with a circle in it or a ball in it, and it's on fire. To extract the best result out of human being and creativity. To extract the best result out of human being and creativity. Well, let's go to the text in the booklets. And here it is called Honest and Real. The fire of union is the passion that is inside of you because of everything that you desire that is valuable. The fire is what touches you at first on the inside and transforms inside of you what no longer serves. It will be burned in licking flames. Then what is essential remains. This gets into the realm of communication. It gets there automatically because that is what remains in reality to be. Communication is what really happens between people. This forms your social life in honesty. Your ultimate value and the experience and energy, and therefore, for instance, also in money and in love, there it is again, is expressed in the honesty of the transformed being, in the having become naked, as it were. Often we admit to things that are not really nice there. So that what is nice and most of all honest and real comes to be highlighted. And that is how the best result is being made. It is a permanent result because it is built on truth. You can see through what is forged and fake in communication and overcome that. You overcome it by seeing it and allowing it. You let it flow through yourself, as it were. You stay standing in union. The pattern flows eventually away, and the you remains. It could not be simpler. Wow. You can see through what is forged and fake in communication and overcome that. You overcome it by seeing it and allowing it. You let it flow through yourself, as it were. You stay standing in union. The pattern flows eventually away, and the you remains. It could not be simpler. Yeah, I don't know. That just arrived a little bit here. So here we are. Yeah. So that's I guess building with humans. You just see what is fake and forged and let it move through you. Do nothing. See through it. And then you can build with what is true. You just take a deep breath, right? You just take a deep breath and you build with what is true. How about that? I think that sounds really good. And there's also a text for mission, because this was the union text. And I will post the mission text for Twin Flame Mission on my Patreon as well, of this card. Are twin flames good and spiritual? Or are they actually normal human beings, just resting in God, in the universe, in Source, that is anchoring itself on earth, grounding itself, rooting in heaven on earth, with both feet on the ground, in the garden where we live and exchange and are human and play and meet and communicate and dance and, I don't know, meet each other online, work together on building a life together, a society with mistakes and successes and more mistakes and more successes and hard work and falling over and standing up and feeling good because you are in heaven. And that's what that means. It just means that you feel good, real good, in a specific way. Twin flame good. Absolutely, fantastically, amazingly good. Beyond belief good. While you are just normal and act and do and rest and work and just a little bit silly and have your human flaws, but you feel perfect. You feel good. Well, that's how twin flames are supposed to live, in harmonious union to consciousness state. That's how you're supposed to live. Well, that's when you're in a consciousness state, but you're not there yet. You are earlier in that journey before you're there. That's perfect. That's fine for now. I can bring you there. Don't worry. You are going to move there by doing the twin flame inner work in connection with a true teacher. That's how it works. That's what we do here. That's what I do here on the internet. I'm very happy for you that I'm here, right? So you will be going there. And you are a twin flame because you're a human being. Everyone is a twin flame because it is the deeper layer of what people are that is not widely known yet, that is so, that you simply are that, but you are. This actually means that, like earlier in the journey, that you're not in harmonious union yet, you haven't developed that harmonious union yet further. You're just a normal human being. Everyone is that. Also, manipulators and, I don't know, bad people, so-called, like felons, like people that have done gruesome deeds. They're all twin flames. It's not good or spiritual in itself, per se, in that sense. It just means that you're human. Anyone, good, bad, and mediocre, is a twin flame. And you'll be just as bad as the other twin flame because you're always at the same level of consciousness. You'll belong together regardless if you have been sent to prison or something. Just making that up, I don't know. That's not what it is about. It's, of course, a very spiritual topic because you are a twin flame on a deeper level, and not everyone talks about that. Only very spiritual people talk about it, right? I get that. But then it's also not a spiritual topic because everyone is a twin flame. Also, when you're not full of love and light. Because it just means that you're human. That you're alive. That's what that means. And you can be anything. And we need people of any type in society. We need this and we need that, and we need handy people, and we need intellectual people, and we need everything. And we also have all kinds of flavors in, well, where you are in, let's say, your moral development. Not everyone is morally developed, let's say it like that. Twin flames are not good and spiritual in that sense, per se. They're just humans. But there is something going on with them because they can consciously go on the way towards the shift of consciousness that is the harmonious twin flame union state of consciousness. And you can easily go there with the twin flame inner work, with the key tool supported by the 9-point energy system done in the community with the teacher, a true teacher. And then you can easily go there and quickly too. You just need to do it. Don't forget it. Do it every day. Listen to what the teacher tells you. Take that in. Don't hesitate to take it in. And you'll be there quickly. It's really easy. You just need to do some work for some time, and then you're there. And you can do that. And the magic thing is that this shift in consciousness that will be the result of doing the twin flame inner work and investing in that and truly doing it in relation with the teacher. When you come to this consciousness place, eventually you will be there, you will step into it, and you will know it because it's very precise and it's very concrete. You will absolutely feel it, and I will feel it too. And we can acknowledge that together, that you're there in that consciousness state because you can feel that shit. It's very concrete. I promise. It's the only concrete thing on the twin flame journey that you can actually feel and measure. It's a very precise moment. Where's my watch? Let me point at my watch again. It's a very precise moment where it will definitively happen. We can possibly, well, say it on the second. Very possibly when you're in it. So there's nothing more precise and concrete. That's it. That's the shizzle. That's the thing. That's the big difference that you need to reach, and you can. When you go there, you become open to quite a new thing, quite a new influence that just wants to come to you and influence you and push its energy towards you, so to speak, and you receive that more and more and more and more, that is going to be awesome. Because it is a shift that will set you on a journey to become more of the actual realm where twin flames come from, become more in the form, in action in the world of what is the actual deeper truth of twin flames, divine love. And now it will start to come out. And now you will become a sort of a fountain that spews it out. And things will change in your world. Things will change in your personality. Things will change in your actions. Things will change in your communication. And now you are actually on the road from potentially, let's say, being a criminal, I don't know, let's say, towards being spiritually deep, morally good, feeling real good, feeling healthy and wealthy and happy, joyful, experiencing soul-bound pleasure, and exuding that light and love of divine love. You are now going in that direction more and more. That will change you, should you have been like morally degraded or whatever it was, you were in prison or whatever it was, you know. That will shift. That's a given. Gradually, it will come out more and more. So that's what that state of being does. And that is like the way of living of the future that starts now for every twin flame, which means everyone. And everyone longs for this deeply, actually. That's what this means, this journey. So being a twin flame is just the vehicle of life. It doesn't mean that you're morally, spiritually good. It just means that you're a human being. But when you go to that shifting consciousness, that's where the deeper divine love will start to transform you, make everything come true that your heart longs for, genuinely. And more you will become actually a balanced, beautiful, spiritual, but on earth, human being. And that's how it transforms you. Twin flames is not good and spiritual per se. But when you reach the end goal of the consciousness state and keep on moving forward inside of it, you'll make everything come true that your heart desires in direct relationship with the divine, which means that it will be good and spiritual of nature. And you'll become gradually more and more and more expressed in the world. That beacon of love and light that we feel that it should be. And that's the shift that you are here for and that I am here for, to guide you towards it. You would be very welcome. I choose now to explore the most complete depths of my being. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it to perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that he may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that it is universally accepted by all. At the core of every child of God, including me, we're all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love. Love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry. You could not choose against love itself because you are love itself manifest as you eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it cannot possibly leave. But you leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so, revealing to you that love has never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start the relationship that will lead you to harmonious union and beyond. When you're not in the relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results that I'm speaking of and, in fact, guaranteeing. Currently, you are cordially invited to step into the group year course experience. This is the Twin Flame Mystery School you have been waiting for. I am looking for 9 people to step into this abundant opportunity. Your Twin Flame Abundance Now course opens its doors on May the 1st. Start giving so that you can receive. The door closes as soon as I have my 9 people that will be successful in their journey. But first we dance towards the opening of the door together. Join the launch of the Twin Flame Year Group Course of your dreams. creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now launch. Or go to the description box below and click the link. The show notes. You can, however, support this ongoing Twin Flame news as such. Make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk about for you. And also we are on Earth, and that necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Therefore, I post the show notes in Patreon. Come over and enjoy. Have influence on the broadcasts. Don't miss out on the behind-the-scenes experience. Patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe or go below to the description box and click the link. This month in the Patreon subscriber action is the Divine Love reading for the old price of €99 instead of the new one of €177. Why don't you share this with a friend? When you enjoyed it, they might too. I am Petra. In the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union since March 2020, worked with the new Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flame soon enough after going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om. Amen.